Alright, how's it going, folks? Wits NFL here, back again for another live one-take review. I say one take, it's usually one take, but obviously if a game goes terrible, such as if I get dev struck, I can't really use that because that doesn't review the ship. Today, we have the Yamato. So Yamato is kind of, to me, the quintessential battleship. This is the one to have. If you are researching a legendary tier battleship, you're looking at them all, wondering what to get, do Yamato. Just don't question it, just do Yamato. That'll be your first one, the rest of them you can come after. But Yamato should be your first one. It's going to be the most familiar, especially if you've been playing Iowa. Or really any battleship. The fundamentals are all here, it's just taken to the extreme. Do the Yamato. You'll never have a bad time in it either. Well, you'll have a bad time sometimes, but it's not disappointing. So, that said, let's go ahead and take a look at our build real quick. We have Takao Takagi for our commander. He is the Dispersion commander. Running Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Marksmanship, and Reaching Out XXL with Will to Rebuild. We have Paolo Di Revel and Scharnhorst as our inspirations, Azure Lane Scharnhorst. If you do not have Scharnhorst, use Cunningham. But you'll have the opportunity to get Scharnhorst back next week, so I'd highly recommend that if you do not already have her. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Yamato. Now, of course, a lot of you history buffs out there will know that this was a real ship. It was the battleship. It was the largest battleship ever built, had the largest guns. Nothing else comes close. Ironically, the Iowa is actually longer than the Yamato, which is a little strange. I did not know that, despite being like twice the displacement. Yamato is not as long as Iowa, so that's interesting. This is a very good looking ship because it's a beast. I mean, look at how many guns this thing has. You have these massive 3 triple turrets, and look at all these secondaries. Now, unfortunately, the smaller secondaries do not actually work in the game. They're only used for AA. Wouldn't it be nice if they were, though? But you can kind of see you got 3 of those larger mounts and then 3 of the dual mounts up above. Those are your actual secondaries that are usable in game. Plus you've got the 2 turrets that are above the main guns. Those are 152s, so you basically have a couple of Suzia guns above your main guns. Secondaries aren't bad. They're a nice little deterrent, but they're not really going to be shredding a destroyer that's rushing you. They can help out, though. So, Yamato was the largest battleship ever built. Had the largest guns, 18.1-inch guns. The next closest was actually a British ship, the Hms Furious. Before its refit, had 2 457 or 18.0-inch guns. They were single-barreled, and that was not like a battleship, it was a battle cruiser. But still interesting to note. Following that, you got the Nagato and then the American 16s. So, for those of you wondering about your gun sizes and what comes close, that's it. HMS Furious is very interesting. Look it up if you've not heard of it. So, let's go ahead and take a look at a few things here. We have 2 repair parties with this build, so not many, but this thing's such a beast that it doesn't need many. And of course, Kurfürst is also getting 2. I think Montana is also getting 2, so nothing too out of the ordinary there. We get 4 spotter planes. Take the spotter planes over anything else. Don't question it, just do it. Let's go ahead and toss a flag on there just because. 90,000 hit points. Armor that goes from 16 to 650 millimeters. Nothing else comes close as far as 650 millimeters. That is the thickest armor in the game, bar none. 55% torpedo damage reduction, which is also the best in the game, bar none. Artillery, 3x3 460 millimeter guns. Huge guns. 19.5 firing range. 25-second reload. HE shell damage is pretty high at 7,300 maximum HE shell damage, 35% fire chance. You're not going to be shooting HE out of this thing very often, if at all. But you have it. You can dev strike a destroyer that rushes you. It's nice to know. AP shell damage, you've got 16,280. Very solid AP shell damage there. So the alpha strike on this thing is crazy. Like we said, you had a lot of secondaries. They only fire to 5.2 kilometers. They don't do crazy damage, but they also are pretty good. Aaa Defense is 85. It fires out to 5 kilometers. It shoots down some planes. Don't sleep on it. Maximum speed, slow, 24.3 knots. This thing is absolutely horrendously slow. It's got a large turning circle, 20.1 rudder shift. I've not even noticed that, honestly, but that makes sense. It's a slug for sure. Concealment, 14 kilometer concealment. Don't ask me why the Yamato gets better concealment than the Iowa. You know, because balance. That's why. This ship is a thick one. So, 32 millimeter bow, and that is a very long bow, you'll notice. If we remove that, and there's also a 50 millimeter deck, so most of the deck plating here is 50 millimeters, so if you hit the Yamato on the deck, you're probably not going to be overmatching it in another Yamato, but Conqueror does overmatch it with its HE, so, you know, at range, Conqueror can beat a Yamato better than another Yamato can, a lot of times. So, let's go and remove this. We've got our very thick torpedo protection, superstructure armor, casemate, and our guns, which is where the 560 and the 650 millimeter gun plating is. It's very thick. Now, that leaves us with the Citadel. Very interesting looking Citadel, isn't it? But you'll also notice, very thickly armored at 410 millimeters, but it's also about the size of a semi-truck. Well, really, this is the size of like probably 10 semi-trucks if we're talking actual scale, but just metaphorically. It's the size of a semi-truck. And it's raised. Again, about the height of a semi-truck. So, what does that mean? That means if you get caught broadside in this thing, you are a guaranteed dev strike. You will die if you go broadside in this ship. It is death. No question about it. No questions asked. Doesn't matter if it's a cruiser. Doesn't matter if it's a battleship. If it's like an Alaska or Stalingrad or any battleship at all, you are going to get dev struck. You will be dead. So don't even think RNG is going to bail you out. You're not getting bailed out. You'll be dead. You get the point. Also, you'll also notice up here, you see how the front of this, kind of by that turret number 1, is angled? That also means if something shoots you, let's go ahead and just place all this back here. If something shoots you at, say, this angle here, or no, rather it's this angle here, right below turret number 1 there, they will actually go right through you, and they'll Citadel you. It is possible to get dev struck from this angle here if somebody knows where to shoot. Again, has to be kind of near the water line, has to be at this angle. They got to be shooting just in the right spot below that number 1 turret. But it is possible to get Citadeled and dev struck from this angle in a Yamato. Sometimes even this angle. But a lot harder, a lot less likely. So keep that in mind. What's up, Vaz Vegas? How's it going? So that is the armor of the Yamato. Again, deck is not going to be overmatched, but Conqueror will slap this thing with HE. So, biggest battleship, World War II, world's largest battleship. Yamato was designed around the idea, blah blah blah. It can beat everything, was the thought, except for carriers. They didn't think that far in advance. It says there were 4 ships in the series. That's a lie. There was actually 2. There was the Yamato, and there was the Musashi. Then you had a third one, which was completed, but not as a battleship. They actually, interestingly, you may not know, completed a third Yamato class and turned it into an aircraft carrier. I think it was called the Shinano, if I remember right. So you can imagine a 70,000 ton behemoth as an aircraft carrier. It was the largest aircraft carrier in the world up until the Midway, up until the US started doing what they do now and building floating cities of aircraft carriers. But we don't talk about carriers, because carriers suck. Alright, that said, we're going to go ahead and get to the gameplay with the Yamato. This is my favorite Legendary Tier battleship, unquestionably. Conqueror is pretty close second. Kurfürst, not even competitive, I don't think. And Montana is pretty good, but it doesn't have the overmatching that this thing has. One thing I did forget to mention, which is key about the Yamato, because it has 460mm guns, I keep forgetting not everyone knows all this stuff. 32mm bows can be overmatched by the Yamato. It takes exactly 460mm guns. Nothing less. It can't even be 459. Has to be 460. Can overmatch 32mm, which means every bow at tier 7 and every bow at legendary tier, pretty much with the exception of the curve first, can be overmatched by the Yamato. So if they go broadside to you, they're dead. If they go bow tanking to you, there goes half their health. What do you do? Who knows? Who knows? We are on Sea of Fortune. Let's take a look at what we've got going against us here. Three destroyers. They got a Kagero, Somers, Shima, so a lot of torque boats. 2 Yamatos, so gotta be careful about that. I mean, the destroyer gunfight, we've got one more Somers than they do, so that's got an advantage over the Kagero. Could go either way. I don't want to leave it to chance. If I see a destroyer, I'm gonna spot a destroyer. We have an Azuma and a Montana on this side. Not great odds, especially, I don't know what this guy's doing, but I don't think it's a good idea just looking at it. I don't know if he's abandoning the flank or going here. Either way, probably a terrible idea. Okay. So, like we said, we do have to be careful about the little cheek thing, but at this range, it's very hard to penetrate. It's really up close that you need to worry about it. Oh my god, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, he's slowing down, but it might not be enough to save him. No, he's speeding up. Let's see what happens. Oh, he gets away with it. He gets away with that far too much, I think. I was so excited there for a split second, and I was so disappointed with the results. What do we have left to shoot at? Now you also notice, not really a review aspect of this ship, but still nice. The gun sound is absolutely gorgeous. Nothing beats it. Oh, he's getting smacked. Let's continue to smack this man. Hurt him. Hurt him. Oh, there we go. Good shit, Somers. Good shit. Alright, they have abandoned the flank. There is nothing stopping us from getting this cap. We are just going to rush the cap. Don't abandon flanks. That happens to your teammates, and now we get free points, basically. So don't do this, guys. Unless you're against me, then do it. Please. Alright, we got a Flounder out there. No, we don't. Hopefully we get a Flounder out there again. They've kind of overloaded C. We've overloaded B. Which is just the way it goes. Oh, there's the Flounder. Tricky shot to place. I'm going to go with right here. Now, Dispersion on Yamato, very good in my books, especially considering the kind of shells it just lobs out. They're very painful. They overmatch. They get great penetration. I mean, it's all... You get it all. Alright, there's Prince Eugen, who has decided he would like to die. Undershot him just a little bit. Oh, no we didn't. There went half his health. Ooh, we over-angled there. He slapped us. Yep. Like I said, this armor's not forgiving. You over-angle, you're gonna get absolutely pummeled. Down he goes. Uh-oh, there's a destroyer out there. Looks like a Sommers or a Shima. Well, I suppose it has to be since that's all that's left. Really hoping to avoid that, but that's alright. Am I still being a potato in World of Warships Legends? Yes, I am, Wildlands. Thank you for checking in. And you can see we just Citadel'd that guy through the stern. So overmatching is a very useful, very powerful mechanic. Broadside naked Yamato. Somebody just unlocked it. I swear people must be just unlocking these accounts, dude. You can't tell me you went through Legendary tier or all the other tiers and you just sit flat broadside in Yamato. Even if you didn't know that this ship gets absolutely nuked, it's like, you can't sit flat broadside. Alright. We get 8k off his superstructure here. Let's take another shot. Hopefully overmatching his stern plating. That's the goal here. Although we hit his gun, so... He is starting to show a very good angle, though. At this angle, we should be able to penetrate at the waterline, especially if he starts opening up more. We're gonna use spotter plane on that. He's gonna be taking torpedoes and a Yamato salvo. God help him. God help him. Oh, down he goes. Not due to us, but a combination of us and torpedoes. So yeah, not a forgiving ship as far as the Citadel at all. Don't play games. You will die. This ship has the least forgiving broadside in the game, I would say, other than the Veneto. Veneto's a little less forgiving. Although, I say that now, I've never been dev struck through the cheek. I know it's possible, but I don't really have too many problems with it. A lot of hit points to go around here. We're at 93,000 damage. We still have a lot of hit points, and we're kind of developing a crossfire. Oh man. He might outrun our guns, but I couldn't really shoot any further forward without hitting the island. So, we still get him for 10k, 11k. Blow up his gun. So I think the thing to do here... It's hard to say. Ooh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to continue pushing forward. It's probably the best move. This Kansas is going to be in for a world of hurt here. Terrible dispersion there, but oh, it doesn't matter. He's dead. Yeah, Yamato guns are a thing of beauty. An undeniable thing of beauty. Best guns in the game. Unquestionably. I don't care what anyone else says. Your Montana might be nice, but it's not overmatching. It's not doing things like that. It might be doing things like that, though. Just the pen this thing has is just nuts. Now, Brandenburg does have an icebreaker bow, and I believe stern? No, just bow. So it does have the potential to bow tank us, kind of. But it does not have the potential to sit flat broadside to us and get away with it, unless we undershoot him. In this case, we got about 8k. Not what you want out of shooting Yamato guns, but not bad either. and take another shot at him. And this could hurt. Another 10k. He is German, so... Do I think Yamato's too accurate for its gun caliber? No. No. Not after playing Worcester. Worcester is like... I think it's fine. In fact, I've heard people say it's too inaccurate, which I disagree with that. I think it's perfect where it is, I would say. Alright. Pretty good one. Pretty good one. So, we take a look at the standings here. We have 186,000 damage, 44 shells hit, 3 kills, 6 Citadels, Dev Strike, High Caliber, second on the leaderboard to the Turpitz, who had himself a great game as well, but 2467 Elite XP, or Base XP rather. Pretty fun. Yamato never fails, if nothing else, to be fun, in one way or another. Like I said, if you are sitting at that bureau, you're wondering what to get, Yamato. Do not get Kurfürst because it's the biggest ship in the game. Terrible idea. Kurfürst is the worst legendary as of right now. Probably will continue to be the worst legendary. Conqueror is a close second. That's not a bad choice, but Yamato is the way to go. So, with that said, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Appreciate you for dropping by. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, leave a subscribe. I would like to hit 200 subs by the end of the week. Help me get there. I'll catch you in the next one. Alright, on to the next one.